Okay, hey, so the new Happy Death Day movie's out and it has a Back to the Future spin to it. Christopher Landon's back directing this. This time he wrote it too. Scott Lobdell wrote the first one. And Chris could have just sat around and done the same movie with different people, but to do a Back to the Future thing with a new story is risky, and he pulls it off. If you haven't seen this Happy Death Day thing before, it's like Groundhog Day, where there's a loop of someone dying and coming back over and over again until they figure out how to stop it. And they throw in jokes and try to make it funny. The killer's got a dark hood and a baby face mask with big cheeks and one tooth, because that's the Bayfield University mascot from where they go to school. It's a strange role to play, but there's gonna be someone out there with it on their resume. I wasn't really into the title at first. Anything to do with death I don't really want to think about. It's probably a touchy subject for a lot of people. But then I thought it's interesting because there's a happy birthday and this flips it around. It was only a matter of time before someone did it. This time, Carter's roommate Ryan starts the time loop with his science experiment at school, and Tree's messed up some other universes, so they have to figure out how to fix the machine and close the loop. Sounds like Jimmy Neutron. And Tree's romance with Carter Davis comes into play too. In the first movie, it was just about staying alive. Now it's about what does she want her life to be like? Does she want to date Carter? Does she want her mom to be alive? It leans towards Back to the Future, which they actually say in the movie, and you can guess they wanted to do something different, to have something new, but a few parts might be lower. There's a lot of explaining here, and it kind of swings around a bit. Jessica Rothe from the first one's back, playing Rothe Tria Geldman. She keeps you watching this, but it has a bit about Ryan at the start, which might be a disadvantage because she's the most interesting to watch. It turns back to her though, and it goes back to her birthday, but now there's other dimensions. Danielle, the sorority girl's back, Tree's roommate Lori's back, and the creepy good-looking Dr. Gregory Butler's back. You'll see a lot of the same tricks again, like where she tries to find out who's coming after her and gets finished, and she even ends up not wanting to wait anymore and ends herself instead of waiting for someone else to do it. What makes it good is just watching what they're going through and how they react to it. The story itself's kind of boring. They go around in a loop. The whole movie's about trying to find their way out. So it's all about having fun watching them through it. And this one's fun like the first one. It makes a bit less sense going into sci-fi. And apparently that's not a good thing, because I guess most of the time nobody cares about sci-fi. Keanu Reeves' movie Replicas was pretty good, and it didn't make much money. People only care about sci-fi if it's something really amazing. Seems like if it's not amazing, then you just don't care. And that's kind of what might happen here for some people. It gets a bit complicated, and that takes away from some of the fun stuff, like the activists in the first one who wanted Tree to sign her petition. By going into sci-fi, it goes away from the comedy horror thing. It might be trying to be too many things at once. Instead of just being surprising and scary, it might not be as surprising as scary as the first one. Some of the emotional stuff could be better. There's a lot of what you saw in the first movie kind of being recycled too. It's not hard to like, but it could throw you off with the whole sci-fi thing. You have to admit that the story's a classic though, with the killer loop that's like Groundhog Day, but a little different. I can probably see a few more of these coming out. The acting holds it together with Jessica Rothe, and that's what counts, and I have to give it a like. What do you think? Leave your comments below, and check out my other videos, and subscribe.